Ladies and gentlemen, now today I want to have a bit of a chat about the event quest The Rise of X and the introduction of Cavalier Difficulty and also some of the changes to Uncollected. So we'll start with the Uncollected stuff, man, because they've done some just like very annoying stuff this month to Uncollected, which a lot of people aren't very happy about. And they've nerfed the completion rewards. They've removed any 6 stars from completion and shifted it all to 100%. Now there are a few more like T4CC and a little bit more gold for 100%. However, this is just really annoying for progressing players that do not have like the utility needed to 100% explore every single path and get those first 2 chapters done 100%. Because if you can't fully explore the first 2 chapters 100%, that means overall in comparison to easy path completion, you're going to be getting less 6-star shards than you were previously. So yeah, it's just a really annoying change. I'm really not too sure why they made it, in all fairness, and all it's done is like piss off just a load of people. So that is just an area where they've kind of dropped the ball, man. And in all fairness, the update to Uncollected rewards is like just very unexciting. Like they could have added a little bit more to spice it up overall. And the Cavalier rewards are just they're just miserable, man. For like the amount of effort required, the amount of like specific counters and characters and utility you need to get through certain stuff, the rewards are just pretty damn miserable, in all fairness. So like going over all of the rewards, if we have a look on the forum posts, because they're kind of very spread out. So for the completion, if you can power your way through all of the easiest paths, you get 756 star shards. Again, that's just a very low amount overall. Also 4,200 5-star shards. You get just under 7,000 T5 basic fragments, pretty much 1/3 of a single tier 2 alpha. You also get 8 generic 5-star signature stones, 75k gold, and a little bit of regular ISO 8s. That's just the XP to rank up characters. But overall, for getting through the completion, man, this is quite a lame stack of rewards, especially for the effort required just to go through the easiest paths. And they do say that they're building an easy path in each quest that any Cavalier player can attempt to obtain the completion rewards without a super wide roster, and the completion rewards will help you develop your roster, helping you rank up your 5-star champions to rank 5. But in all fairness, man, like this stuff is barely gonna touch the sites. You know, that's not even like, what is it? It's like 1/8 of a single tier 5 basic catalyst, man. That is a very, very small amount to help you get a single rank 5 character. And again, even the easiest paths, they still have the general requirements of stuff like Diss Track buffed up, the Mutant Bleed one as well. So you need like a very specific counter and champion and piece of utility in order to get through the easy path. And I think they've done like a really bad job for the most part in actually like laying out a clear easy path for most quests. So yeah, I think the completion stuff is just really underwhelming for a player of Cavalier level to even get through an initial try, especially for the effort expended and the amount you need. But also for the exploration, there's an additional 4,250 6-star hero crystal shards. So overall, if you do the whole thing, and as somebody with quite a developed roster, I think total it took me about 7-8 hours to do it, and most of the time I was running a 30% booster in the more difficult content as well. And again, I'm pretty much like the best counter, the best option for absolutely everything. For the amount of effort required, that's just a very, very underwhelming amount of 6-star shards. The 5-star shards as well, 15,000 overall, is not too bad. It's all right, but it's still like a single featured 5-star hero crystal, but I don't really have like too much of a problem with the 5-star shards. It'd be nice if they were a little bit higher, but yeah, they're all right. Also another like tier 2 alpha and a little bit there, 10% of a random T5CC, 27,000 tier 5 basic catalyst fragments. So if you do all of Cavalier 100%, you pretty much get like 75% of a fully formed tier 5 basic, and again, you need 2 of those to rank 5 a champion. You also get 10 random 6-star Sig stones, 370,000 gold, 12 generic 5-star Sig stones, and that pretty much is it. Now, I was thinking about like Cavalier, especially in comparison to some of the more recently released content, Variant 5. Variant 5 is really good. The rewards for it are absolutely amazing. You do completion, bro, and you get like 5,000 6-star shards, and also a rank 5 gem as well. It is crazy, and also the exploration rewards are absolutely fantastic. And I would say, from my personal experience, because I've done Variant 5 very, very recently as well, the Variant 5 is easier and less roster requiring to 100% than the first ever Cavalier difficulty, and it has double, if not triple or more on the rewards. It's really, really good. You got like 3 tier 5 basic there, plus you got like a rank 5 gem, man. So technically, just looking at the 100% rewards there, that is yeah, what is it, 3 tier 5 basic. You've also got 25% of a random T5CC, so in comparison to the 10% for 100% Exploring Cavalier, much, much better. You got like 2.5 million gold as well, and all of these generic rank 4 and also rank 2 rank up gems as well. Like, the rewards for Variant 5 are absolutely stacked. And I know variants, they do have like a special level of reward, but the thing I just want to point out here is I do think Cavalier is more difficult, more time consuming, and requires more specific counters to 100% than what you have to invest to 100% Variant 5. Like, the first difficulty is a lot more stacked in terms of the general characters, and also very specific when it comes to certain chapters, and I'll give you an example of what I mean here. If we have a look at like just quest number 2, for example, every single path has this distract node, so this means you can't deal any damage to the opponent unless they have 3 or more debuffs on them, and ideally here you want to bring in a science character, because when debuffs expire, that's also going to give you some additional attack there, but if you don't, you've still got massive health pools to contend with. And I like the buff nodes. They're really fun if you have the right characters and the right counters for these nodes, but if you don't, then you're slogging away at over 200,000 hit point fights. And across Cavalier difficulty, even outside of the bosses, there are many fights that extend to the 300,000 to 350,000 region, and if you have like the perfect counter for that node combination, again, it's a pretty good time, it's a pretty fun time. However, for progressing players and lesser developed rosters, man, it can be like a bit of a slog. If you don't have the perfect champion ranked up, it's going to be a very bad time. I think what is it, quest number 4, the Professor X one, is probably like the biggest example of a quest where if you don't have a really good champion, you are going to struggle, because we got buffed up on this one, and even if you go for like the easy path, man, it's got like a lot of really annoying defenders on, and the easy path is I think intended to be the one with just like the 2 base nodes, and then like every other path has the 2 additional base nodes and then some additional nodes on top of that as well. So this one is the very annoying buffed up node, which means that you can only deal damage to your opponent if you have 3 or more buffs. And there are certain scenarios if you're playing characters like Hyperion against characters like Agent Venom as well, that it's very tricky to get buffs. Domino is also a massive pain when trying to do 100%, because her crit failure can basically cause buffs to fail as well. So yeah, that one was just really annoying, man. It was not too much of a fun time there, and I can see people that have kind of like just on the edge counter being really frustrated in that Domino fight as well. But yeah, overall you've also got fights like Iceman, which again, ideally you need a character that has 3 or more buffs but also has some sort of way to mitigate or be immune to Iceman's cold snap damage. Now you can also build in like Nick Fury and also the Iron Man Infinity War synergy here, but you know, you get the point of it's quite like a niche requirement there overall. Now moving into quest number 5, which is the magic final boss quest, and we'll talk about her in a second, man, because she is a massive pain. There is a global biohazard node, but you've also got just this really underwhelming mutant node, which basically reduces the potency of bleed debuffs by 50%, and anytime you use a special attack, you shrug those off and then get a prowess. But the problem is, unless you already have a bleed immune champion or somebody that has like high bleed damage resistance, the bleed damage, even with a 50% reduction, is just going to eat away at you so incredibly quickly. So like just using Cyclops here as an example, man, you can see like by the time I get to a special 1, like I've already consumed like so many of my hit points there. It's like not enough. It was just a completely like non-thought about node, because all most of the Cavalier nodes do is make already really overpowered champions really overpowered, while leaving most of the champions that are still in the dirt. Like, that's pretty much it. You can see here this 50% reduction on bleed. It's just nothing, man. It needs to be 100% on this node to make like every single mutant character viable, instead of the ones that are already just like, you know, dominating the meta and best options already. Again, it's another specific thing you need for this quest to get through is a really good bleed immune champion, ideally a mutant as well if you want a bit of a bonus from that node, but baseline minimum you do need a strong bleed immune champion that can deal with like 200,000 health pools. And then on top of that as well, at the end you've got the super fun Magic, who has a 10% buffet node. She also has inverted controls on her special attacks as well. The special attacks are unblockable, and when you dash back and trigger dexterity and then get rid of it, she also gains additional power from the prey on the weak node as well. So yeah, this Magic is not too bad to deal with if you have like Blade or Archangel. I think Quake works as well if you can play very decently on this fight, but again, if you don't have like that perfect god tier counter, you are not going to have a great time against that Magic, man. That's going to be a very, very bad time there. I would say one of the nodes that I really like the global node in the final chapter, probably one of my favorites. But again, all it does is make OP Mystic champions even more OP, because every time you nullify a buff, you get an additional prowess buff that increases your special attack damage by 20%. So it makes characters like Mojo, Symbiote Supreme, Longshot hit really, really hard. So yeah, this one's really, really fun if you've got some good Mystic champions there. But yeah, it makes the really good Mystic characters even better and just even crazier there as well. Now, as far as the bosses go as well, I actually really like the Apocalypse boss, and I really like the Professor X boss as well, just because you can do the fight with like pretty much any character, providing you understand what's going on, and also how to counter both of them. So yeah, those boss fights weren't really that niche. They didn't have like any super crazy annoying nodes, so I actually had a lot of fun fighting Apocalypse and also Professor X. But it's like everything outside of those boss fights, there's so much like niche criteria and certain stuff you need to bypass various challenges, even when it comes to just the base completion, let alone the exploration, that I feel like the rewards are so low that they just, you know, barely justify the effort for a lot of players now. And the thing is, man, like, Cavalier's just come out. This is the first month, and I feel like this is the first ever like a new difficulty that they've added, where the rewards like straight out of the gate have already been like really underwhelming. Like Uncollected, as soon as that launched, the rewards are very exciting because they went in immediately with like tier 5 basic and 6-star shards, and those were kind of levels of power that we didn't have access to yet. It started off with Uncollected, you could get the 6-star shards even before the release of 6-star characters, which is really, really cool, just so you could like save up. But I don't really want 7-star champions or 7-star shards, but I feel like there needs to be something like a lot more exciting when it comes to the base rewards of Cavalier, like a new type of reward that gets people really, really pumped up and is actually, you know, worth grinding out the 100% for the majority of players every single month. Because I think people will do it if they have the time, but it is going to be one of those things of it just doesn't feel like that great now. I didn't feel like, well, I've got a crazy amount of stuff to open. I feel like I've just got like a few more resources to add to the pile of resources that I've got via all these additional events over the last few months as well, and I just felt like generally like quite underwhelmed for the amount of effort invested. The difficulty of Cavalier overall really exceeded my expectation for it. I was expecting it to be much easier, a much less specific overall, but it seems like they've gone in this direction where the nodes, they just don't really encourage diverse gameplay. They just buff up characters that are already really, really OP, while like screwing over the majority of mid-tier characters as well. So yeah, they felt like very weird to play against. But yeah, overall, I did enjoy parts of Cavalier, but one of the reasons I enjoyed it so much is because I'm a massive whale, and I've got access to like the perfect counter and the perfect champion for every node and scenario. I know if I was doing this on my free-to-play, even completion, man, it would have been absolute hell. I have no incentive to fire up my free-to-play account to go for a a quote-unquote fun run for the completion of this Cavalier, because there are just so many requirements that I, as somebody that's just reached Cavalier on my free-to-play account and hasn't really progressed too much further, I literally just don't have counters for. You know, there's just specific niche stuff that you've added just for the completion. According to the forum post, the completion goal is meant to be like widely accessible for somebody that's just got Cavalier, and then exploration is more aimed to somebody that has done like 100% Act 6 and has that more developed roster. But even in that scenario, man, the rewards, yeah, just very, very underwhelming. Like, this is more time, more effort, more requirements than the most recent variant, but also, like, arguably about a third of the rewards in comparison. So when it comes to the Cavalier event, I feel like they've just missed the mark so much by the amount of difficulty and investment required versus the rewards and payout that you get. The rewards are very, very underwhelming. When I read the forum post, I was expecting it to be easier, and even with that in mind, the rewards are underwhelming, but seeing, like, the difficulty it is now and everything required, the rewards just seem like literally laughable, man. They're so bad. So at least in my opinion, man, if I were to go back and change stuff, and I really hope Kabam take the opportunity to really go back to the drawing board on these rewards and make them like a little bit more spicy, is I would up the 6-star hero crystal shards to base minimum 10,000. Because still, like, even if you get a 6-star hero crystal, man, there is so much trash in this game. It is absolutely unreal. They've put so much trash in the 6-star basic, and there's also plenty of chances, as many of us know, to pull duplicates of trash as well. And for all of the effort required to 100% this, I think at least one fully formed 6-star crystal is more than fair, man. So I'd add that in, and also to actually make this an exciting event that players are really looking forward to every single month, I think there needs to be like a new level of exciting reward. And what are people excited by at the moment? I think it's 6-star Nexus crystals and also 6-star Awakening gems. But I think they should do it in a manner where it's like a fragment crystal, and let's say you need like 10,000 fragments to form either one, and every single month doing 100% Cavalier on top of the 10,000 6-star shards, you also get 2,500 6-star Nexus hero crystal shards. So if you do 4 of these 100%, you get a 6-star Nexus crystal. So yeah, I think that'd be a really cool reward. And exactly the same thing with a 6-star Awakening gem. You get 25%, 2,500 fragments. Then if you do 4 of these 100%, you get a 6-star Awakening gem crystal. Again, the 6-star Awakening gem crystal is still going to be a random 6-star Awakening gem you don't get to choose, but it gives the endgame players something to be really excited about with those two like super hype next wave rewards. And you know, like looking at friggin' July 4th, man, in a single day they added in like so many 6-star Nexus crystals that I don't think it's like too much of a stretch to ask for one 6-star Nexus crystal to be formed over 4 months of doing Cavalier 100% when you could just like buy them 3 times on the Odins and also whale out for that massive additional offer and get a 4th, because still, like, that makes July 4th the equivalent to, like, you know, 16 months of doing Cavalier 100%. So I don't think that's like unreasonable at all, man. And yeah, same with like a 6-star Awakening gem. It'd be really cool if they added in a fragment crystal as well, but they also need to do more to buff up the amount of tier 2 alpha and tier 5 basic and just everything else, man. There are like 180 characters in this game now. There are so many. There are characters that you need to rank up as 5-star, characters that you need to, and also just want to rank up as 6-star for fun. So yeah, I'd increase the tier 5 basic to at least in my opinion, 2 for 100%, because, you know, that's another rank 5 character every single month if you can 100% it. But moving forward into 6-star rank 3, you're going to need, like, a lot more tier 5 basic on top of that to rank 3 a 6-star character. So I think, like, 2 tier 5 basic is fair as well. And if they can make those 6-star signature stones generic, that would be great. But I think they also need to do some sort of shifting to put more 5-star shards in terms of the completion rewards, and also more 6-star shards and general stuff in terms of the completion rewards as well. Because I think, like, just solely looking at the effort versus rewards for doing the completion, man, in my opinion, it's not worth it. If like you're gonna struggle on this, it's 100% not worth it. Like that stack of rewards is just very, very underwhelming and really a fraction of most much easier side events. So yeah, I'm just not really impressed with Cavalier. I feel like they've dropped the ball so hard in so many different areas of it. There's just too many like specific requirements, too little rewards, that it's just overall a bit of a disappointment in terms of its design. Again, being in my scenario, being a massive blubbery whale, where I can just spend and get through everything, and I have like every single character in the game, it's fine for me difficulty-wise, but the rewards, they really do suck. They're just not exciting at all, man. And I'll do it 100% every single month for like live stream content and a bit of fun, because I did find it enjoyable and fun as somebody who has the you know, perfect counter to everything. But as like somebody looking at it from a free-to-play lens as well, it's just like, screw it, man. Like, this is just not worth the hassle at all. And if it's not worth the hassle when it releases, like, if they stick with these rewards for the next, like, 6 months, in 6 months' time, these rewards are going to look dreadful for the amount of effort required. So, yeah, I think they could have done a lot better, man. Overall, I'm a bit disappointed, but, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. But ladies and gentlemen, if you did enjoy today's video talking about the brand new Cavalier difficulty and uncollected rewards, please do smash that like button. But aside from that, thank you very much for watching. Take care, and I hope that you have an absolutely fantastic day.